Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Almighty, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Today we are going to host SYPA Talks 2020, presented by SYPA Talks, powered by and organized by SYPA Tree, Knowledge Partner, United Economic Forum UEF, in association with the Tamil Arab Business Forum, Mercy Group of Companies, TQ Travels, Niche Startup Club. CyberTalks is an international platform for networking, knowledge sharing, network mentoring, and expert guidance. Today, online program week 8 and NRA entrepreneurship training week 3. Today, our topic is how to do industry free business by our special guest by Dr. Mohamed Ismail Sait, Director, Mana Mona Center for Industry Free Business and Finance, Director Rakubar Financial Consultancy. I'm wholeheartedly welcome brother Ismail said sir to start and give the guidance about the industry free business. Welcome sir. Yes
Yeah,
sir.
well,
Welcome sir.
yeah.
Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rafiq.
Yes sir. Please start sir. Welcome sir.
I hope I am audible and clear to everyone.
Yes sir. Audible sir.
Thank you. Very good evening. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum
Very
salam.
important session. Firstly, I have to thank Brother Rafiq, his entire team. Though it was a short notice, Rafiq knows that I'm always at his disposal. So, Rafiq not only is a good friend and is a great social worker, he's also from my hometown near Dindigul. So, he knows he can rely on me anytime. Alhamdulillah, thank you, Brother Rafiq, and all the organizers of SYPA talks, knowledge partner, United Economic Forum. I'm trying to share my screen. Once I share, I want you to tell me if it is shared. Yeah, is the screen
Yes, sir.
in order?
Yes sir. We can able to see this sir.
Thank you, Brother Rafiq. Yeah. Yes, now it's a very important topic for everyone, particularly I am involved in this field of interest-free banking and finance since 2018. Since 2018, but 2010, before 2010, I was involved in a lot of other research-related activities. I'm sorry, this was started in 2008, not 2018. We in fact completed 12 years by the grace of Almighty. So 2008, we started Mana Mona SYPA, that is Center for Interest-Free Business and Finance. So 2010, I enrolled for my PhD and I completed that in 2016. So this is a very brief about what we do. We provide interest-free business and Islamic finance practices consultancy. We also provide assistance and in establishing and managing schools. And there is also an ethical consultancy wing. Nothing is done on a commercial basis. This is done in our Mana Mona Foundation, purely as a service to our community and to everyone who requires. And this, in fact, my interest-free banking and business venture started with my introduction to Mufti Rizvi, who's a Sharia scholar in Amana Bank, Sri Lanka. So with his introduction and with his advice, I came out of interest in my business in the year 2003. My acquaintance with him started in 1999, 2000. And we took a strong intention, and by the grace of Almighty, we came out of interest-based debt in the year 2003. So since then, we have been providing counseling and assistance to individuals, to institutions, to corporates. And as I mentioned, it is all for as a service, expecting your prayers and your support. In fact, I met Mr. Yawar Beg, a very important scholar I have to mention because I will do injustice if I don't mention these two personalities. One is Mr. Mufti Rizvi and another Mr. Yawar Beg. Yawar Beg I met in 1997 when he came to inaugurate an institute in Chennai called Learning Institute for Excellence, Life. So I asked him a question which I have mentioned here. It is there in the screen because it is very, very relevant to the topic that we are discussing. How do we do interest-free business? So that was the intention I had when I asked him this question in 1997. I asked him in the following manner. I am a third generation entrepreneur involved in leather business, doing a turnover of around 9 to 10 crores at that time. And I have a bank loan of around 75 lakhs. And my question to him was, how do I do this business interest-free? His answer is the wisdom of these learned people. So, his instant reply. There was a crowd of entrepreneurs in my own leather business and also in other business. So his reply was very instant. This is the reply I have even mentioned here in the screen. He said, you are not asking a question, rather imposing conditions explaining. Rather imposing conditions. You are following conditions. What are the conditions, he said? Being proud to be a third generation entrepreneur, want to be only in leather business, should do a turnover of minimum 9 to 10 crores, and need to have a loan, bank loan or any investment of not less than 75 lakhs. And how do I do this leather business interest-free? Please try to understand this point, because this is the roadblock everyone has when they want to venture into when they want to do a business without any bank borrowing or without any interest-based debt. There are a lot of preconditions everyone sets, like how in my case that was the question. So he said, you are imposing the conditions that you are a third generation entrepreneur, you want to be in leather business, you need minimum 9 to 10 crores. You need to do a turnover of 9 to 10 crores. You want to have a loan or investment of not less than 75 lakhs. And how do you do interest-free? That leather business. He said, if you remove all these questions and if you remove all these conditions and ask a very simple question, how do I do an interest-free business? There is a big difference between the earlier question. I'm just going to the previous slide. This was my question. How do I do this business, which is what? The leather business, interest-free. So he explained that it's not a question, you are setting preconditions. And he asked me to rephrase my question in the following manner. How do I do an interest-free business? That's all. Without all the other conditions that are there in the screen. That was a big eye-opener. Before going into the actual topic, I feel this is what is the message I want to communicate very clearly. It is what we presume, it is what our mindset is there about is possibility of doing an interest-free business. These are all certain mindsets that we have created that it is not possible. There are no interest-free investors available. These are all just theoretical. So this was an eye-opener, and I then started working on the options that are there. So now I'm getting into the topic. What is the background of this topic? We should, everyone knows, not just this COVID situation. When we ventured in 2008, that was the beginning of a world global financial crisis. That was the beginning of the global financial crisis, where you have severe financial crisis all over. You had huge debt cases. You had huge volume of business or bank wealth that is being eroded. Most of the business was in trouble. So these were some of the scenarios. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for a business or for an individual to get into this financial trap or financial issues? Apart from certain basic emergency requirements, even for which interest-based borrowing is not permitted. Apart from a crisis situation arising out of a desperate health issue, or because these things we don't realize, we don't ponder upon. We are very fortunate, we have to thank Almighty, but there are many people who are underprivileged in terms of their financial, whose daily earning is not more than Indian rupees of 100 to 200 rupees. So they get into financial trouble. So their financial troubles are different from we creating financial trouble for ourselves. So there was a huge gap in the right guidance. People were involved in worldly affairs when it comes to decision making. They were not asking a very basic question, which I will come in the next slide. Everybody's peace was in pieces. We don't have peace. Searching, and we were all searching for the solution in the wrong place, which was within the existing conventional system. Now, before I further proceed, I want to suggest some of these useful readings, which was an eye-opener for me and very useful. Though it looks some are Islamic, there are other information. One is Judgment on Interest. If you search, you will get a clear judgment by Mufti Taqi Usmani, which is of very important reading, because every person who criticize and comment that interest-free business is not possible have to read that. It very clearly says what is mentioned in the Holy Quran as well as in other scriptures, but this talks mostly on the Holy Quran, what it says for the different interest that is being in practice, and also from the Hadith. There's another book which I will also be referring here called Sense and Nonsense, CENTS and NONCENTS. Another book, Risk and Halal Earnings. And as I mentioned, Yavar Beig's books and videos are available. There's a very interesting book called City Smart. It's a very small 30-page book. It talks about the communities and their business practices in India. Very interesting, must-read book. Then, of course, there is this Darul Ifta, where for those who are interested in Sharia opinions, they can refer that. Another interesting person by name Tini Phillips, he lives in Kerala. Contrarian approach or contrarian consultancy is his specialization. So that talks about out of the what we don't normally approach. He approaches in that manner, Tini Phillips. Now, I said that there is an important issue that pulls everybody towards this interest-based trap. What is that? Interest-based economy is debt-based and greed-based. You know what is debt-based? Purely, all the latest new financial products that are being developed every day in different names, they are giving different shapes to one particular product, which is a debt-based product. And it is also connected with speculation and gambling. And there is an important factor, it is greed-based. Whereas an interest-free economy is asset-based and need-based. When I mean economy, you can even relate it to one's own business. Is asset-based and need-based. There is a real assets against which the buying, selling, investment returns are based. Whereas in a debt-based system, there is real asset somewhere which is being traded in different platforms. When the 2008 crisis, we all talked about 2-3 big time insurance and other companies in US. In fact, the names I'm not getting it. Very popular refinancing, reinsurance companies, which pulled the whole economy down. Third point, interest is the root cause of all economic turmoil, again for individuals, for their small and medium business, even to a country. Next is NPAs of banks. NPAs are non-performing assets of banks, or man-made disasters and not economics. See, predominantly, if you ask any business, why did you fail? What was the problem that you incurred so much bank loan? Why did your company get into trouble? I have a friend who is helping me. It is called Lehman Brothers. Yes, the 2008 crisis. One of the key player was this Lehman Brothers, and there were other couple of other players. So these non-performing assets of banks are, when I say man-made, what I was mentioning is if you ask any business who has failed or any person who went into financial problem, they will blame everybody else other than themselves. They will blame the bank. They'll say, look, I have paid so much interest. Still, the bank is saying, no, we will take your property and dispose it in the market. We will put the advertisements. I'll show you a couple of advertisements that are there in everyday's newspapers. Don't blame the bank. The bank did not cheat you at all. When they gave you the money, they very clearly said the conditions, and they have not deviated anywhere. They have said, I'm giving you loan for which you have to give me interest. If you don't give me interest for so and so period, and if you don't give me the principal for so and so period, we will term you as a non-performing asset, and under the act, we will put your the properties and all securities in auction. Bank have very clearly said, very clearly given in writing. So we can't blame the bank. Then another point in Indian context, RBI regulations are not a reason for us to involve in riba or interest-based transactions. People immediately say, look, in India, it is not possible. But when this topic comes, a very simple anecdote or an incident everybody quotes is, particularly Muslim brothers, when they go to a restaurant or when they search for a restaurant or when they take any food product, the symbol they search is it halal? Is it permitted? It is only the symbol they search. If it is halal, they will venture into it. But earnings and the stipulation and the punishment that is related to riba-based transactions are many times more than if you take a haram food. Even when the haram food is permitted as a life-saving situation. I'm not getting into the hadith, but what I'm trying to say is, compared to that, the interest-based transactions or riba-based dealings are more serious in nature. Last point, interest-free business networking is the need of the hour. How do we really do that? How do we really do a business interest-free under a profit loss sharing system within the existing rules and taxation rules, legal rules of any country for that matter? It is very much possible. It is very much possible, for which knowledge about this subject is the key. And then we need to talk about that. We need to network. So in this context, for today's meeting, I have to thank SYPA again, because it's an important topic, and for which networking or knowledge sharing within their networking platform will help, inshallah. I said NPAs. What are the NPAs? If you read any newspaper, if you turn in any newspaper, you will see these type of advertisements. You will see these type of advertisements, wherein their name, their guarantor's name, their family name, their property, even for a small amount of 1 lakh to a larger amount of 100 crores or even 10,000 crores, the rule is the same. The act is the same. But the pathetic situation, anybody who has borrowed more are more comfortable than people who borrowed less, they are in more trouble. Unfortunately, that is the situation. Okay, another important personality, I didn't meet him, but he was an inspiration to me. Brothers, in case I'm not audible anything, you can put in the chat box. I've just kept it in my visible area. So another important personality is G Muramatsu. In fact, his name is Kenichi. The second name, I don't know, because this I came to know about him and his book through a channel in 2007. It's a Japanese channel called NHK, under a professional work series. Unfortunately, I don't still see that in the YouTube. Otherwise, I would be willingly sharing it. You know what this gentleman does? He's an advocate by profession, and he practices business restructuring and rehabilitation or company bailout. This is a Google translation, so that's why you see some saying reproduction. Forget that part. Lawyer specializing in it is not reproduction, it's actually reconstruction. But what is the important area he specialized? Very briefly, I have to tell because that's very important. Because today, many people are suffering. They are not speaking out, but they are suffering out because of their interest-based issues. They are in trouble. They are not able to pay the money back. We have many cases where they have committed, they have taken their own life for a small amount of 10,000. We have seen newses where the entire family lost their life. Very, very sorry to say, undigestible. We are not able to come to terms. This gentleman inspired me to come into this field, wherein, by the grace of Almighty and with the wisdom of many professionals, I have advised many people, as in the individual level, in a professional level. So what he does is, a business who has become sick, they come to him. See, in Japan, which is a country with the lowest interest rate in the world, or one among the very few countries who have the lowest interest rate. You won't believe it is 1 to 2%. That's all. When compared to our situation of more than 12 to 13 or 14%. So people come to him after they have become bankrupt. They want his help in bailing out the company. So he talks to all their lenders. It could be banks, it could be financial institutions, it could be suppliers for whom the company has to pay back. So what he does is he studies the business completely. Before he does this, he starts the exercise. He studies the business completely. He calls all of them to a public place or a meeting hall, and he tells the lenders and the suppliers and to whom the money is due. He tells them, look, this company has become sick, but they have become sick due to the following reasons, which are, some are mismanagement, some are due to the market factors. But otherwise, this company is, there is a high possibility that they can come back in their business and they can come to their normal level, but it will take 3 to 5 years. So till that period, you need to waive 50% of your outstanding. 50% of your outstanding. And then you have to give time of 3 to 5 years for the other 50%. Third one is what I didn't imagine. I didn't hear such a concept till that time. Third point, he says you have to lend again, or again give him a credit of so much. I'm taking time in this slide because this is what is happening around us. Now, we need not think ourselves in a sick company who has become NPA, but we can think like G Muramatsu to help others. How we can really help them at our professional level. We need not help anyone financially, but it is important that we share our knowledge in the professional level to them and counsel them, help them with our network and ensure they come out of that trouble. This is the book I was referring, Sense and Nonsense, The Nemesis of Inflation by Mohamed Sait. This gentleman was an ex-banker of State Bank of Bikaner. He lives somewhere in Assam. I tried to reach him, but I'm not able to. He has not responded to the mail. Very interesting, very important book for anyone who wants to know how an interest-based system is against the country's economy, which leads to inflation, compared to an interest-free system that is good for the business, that is good for the country. Very interesting reading material. This was part of my PhD research. There he says is an interesting book. I can't cover everything in a few minutes. One point I want to say. This is an example of how a basic frying pan in a kitchen, frying pan in a kitchen or any utensils, what is the origin, and when it comes to the end user, what are the different stages it crosses in terms of pricing and in terms of interest being added to the existing. There are, in the cost of production, you have your operating cost, you have fixed variable cost. Then you have in the fixed cost, there are people who will charge the interest that for the amount they have borrowed. And apart from these, already they have added that component of interest. Apart from the fixed and variable cost, they will also add a profit. So there are two criteria that go into the costing calculation. So you have your interest, which is a fixed interest of 14 or 15%, which is normally calculated in the fixed cost. And then apart from these two costs, every business would add a profit. This is natural. In an interest-free scenario, the concept of that fixed rate of interest doesn't arise at all. So in this example, an iron ore, which is costing from a raw material to process it to go to the next stage of pig iron, it from 100 rupees, it becomes 212 rupees. Inside the 212 rupees, this is what is here. The flow chart indicates that the crude ore iron costing 100 is converted to a factory grade iron ore valued at 212 in stage 1, which is then converted to a pig iron at the rate of 451. Now, this is natural. People don't understand. Even I didn't understand when I saw this. We only look at the end price that comes to the end user. But if we sit and research on every product, what is the basic product? What are the stages of that product before it becomes a finished product? And in the different stages, how at each stage, the cost of production, which has an inbuilt interest part and a profit part, is added into every stage. Normally, except for big time factories who will do from stage 1 to stage 5 themselves, otherwise it is everyone, small and medium enterprises doing stage 1, then stage 2, then stage 3 stainless steel, then stage 4 SS sheets, then stage 5 of making the frying pans. Very few corporates or companies do all the stages by themselves. The example is a car factory, they do by themselves, but still they have every division as a separate business unit, SBU, where in every separate business unit, like in these different stages, they'll be charging their fixed rate of interest as well as a profit of that division. So when it comes to the retailer, the product becomes an expensive product because there is a fixed interest portion that is being added. A very good, great scholar once said to all the business community in Chennai once, he said, look, we don't realize why a tea is costing 10 rupees today. You know, a tea cup with only half of that cup. In fact, tea made at the tea shop is more tastier than tea made at home. We all have to accept that fact. Even if some homemakers are here, we have to accept that fact. So a tea cup with only half cup of tea is costing 10 rupees today. If you break the ingredients of milk, tea, sugar, you will see, and also the service charge, everything, it should not go more than 3 to 4 rupees. But why is it the price has gone up from 3 rupees or 5 rupees to 10 rupees today? Because every supplier, every ingredient, the milk, the sugar, even the water for that matter, today we have to buy. And the interest cost of that individual tea shop, everything is going inside the tea. Brothers, please don't think that I have not come into the real subject. I am in the real subject now of interest-free. Unless we understand what is happening around us, we cannot get into the subject. So even if a bank says this slide will tell you what is the real interest one pays over a period. Let's say a basic of 12 to 15%, a 12% interest on a yearly basis, though it is 12%, but if you really get into the working closely, it will have this 12 to 16%, more than 12%. Because sometimes the monthly payments are due. Even on an average level, the bankers will understand this is the rate of interest. The rate of interest is higher than what is being really explained or shown to the client. Over a period of 10 years to 20 years, at the different stages that we spoke, the different stages of production, the interest rate of just 12% to 15% would be more than 500%. People who are interested to really know this working can contact me. I will give you detailed working. This is called interest multiplier effect. People normally know an interest, basic interest and cumulative interest, but in reality, every business, those who have failed, if you look at their books of what is the interest actually they have paid, will not be the interest they have signed with the bank, let's say 12 to 15%, due to various factors. Okay, I'm not going into a pure Islamic discussion here. I'm just trying to tell you the banking and financial activities in the Islamic perspective. So under that, how does an interest-free bank? See, I have made this slide as an Islamic bank, but any interest-free bank, what is the revenue to the bank? Is a profit-loss sharing system. So, like any bank, there are shareholders. The shareholders invest in the. You can change this Islamic word into interest-free. The shareholders invest in the interest-free bank. There is this mudaraba is one type of financial product or taken for a calculation where the investor who invests money, an investor just invests the money to an entity which you will use the money and would pay back the investor their returns. So this is called mudaraba. In pure Islamic financial terms, it's called rabal mal, mudarib. But just for our understanding, very briefly, it's an investor who is giving an investment to a bank who will in turn use the investment and share profit and loss. Wherein in a shareholder is going to, he'll have ownership and profit. Here it is only going to be profit, and if there is a loss, there will be loss also here. So, how does the interest-free bank invest the money that it has received from the shareholders and the investors? There are different products. Again, Murabaha is cost plus finance. It's very similar to your hire purchase, but with certain different rules. Musharaka is your partnership type of business investment. Mudaraba is similar to what I just explained. Ijara is a leasing business. Then you have Salam and Istisna, which are different branches of this Islamic banking products for agriculture and other sectors. So these are the application of funds. Just one example. Partnership is Musharaka is nothing but partnership where the profit and loss is shared at an agreed ratio. Again, one partner two, they all invest in a business. Someone can bring only expertise and capital. Someone can bring only capital, not the expertise. So the ratio of sharing the profit can differ, but when it comes to loss, it has to be shared mutually as per their investments. I'm just skipping some of the slides to understand the Indian financial system. I mentioned a name here, Dr. Sharik Nisar, another important person whom I met in this field. There are also other people like Dr. Rakib Saab, many other personalities in this interest-free economic environment. Dr. Sharik Nisar is a scholar, youngest research scholar in India, world recognized in terms of his research, his services. So I think he is another person whom you should search for his articles in the net, inshallah. Can someone type that till now things are okay, the audio, the other part? Because I have not seen any type.
Yes, sir, it's audible and visible, sir.
Thank you very much. I will take another 15 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So we all know any financial system of any country will be having these constituents. You'll have their savings, you'll have financial markets, you'll have bonds, stocks, derivatives. These are all predominantly, at least in our country and many other countries, under the conventional system, or interest-based and debt-based. Now, I have to tell you very clearly, we cannot blame the system because they are very clear how the system works. Only if there is a doubt saying, no, when I invested, I didn't know it is interest-based. So later I knew that. No, there is no doubt at all. The mutual funds, they are very clear in how it works. The insurance sector is very clear how it works. The banking, the cooperative banking, and the different products in the banking sector, they are all very clear. Then what is the problem? As I said earlier, you can't blame the banking system at all. They are playing a very important, crucial role in uplifting many people. But if you want to do an interest-free system, you cannot go into their regular system and tell that system is wrong. You need to work parallelly with the available systems and ensure that you don't get into a debt trap. No law of a country says you have to borrow this money. No law says you have to borrow from the bank, otherwise you won't be recognized. No, the option is ours, what to take and what not to take. Again, I'll be skipping some of the slides. So these other points on the lower end of the screen is what I said. Those are Arabic names: riba, which is interest; gharar, which is uncertainty; maisir, which is speculation and gambling; and permitted and prohibited items. Look, not just interest-free lending, interest-free borrowing, interest-free business is important. We also have to go to the other levels of saying, am I involving in any unethical, uncertain practices? Or am I cheating myself and others? In an interest-free business, all these are important parameters. Any business for that matter. Is there a speculation inbuilt in my system? Is there a speculation, gambling inbuilt in the system? One has to analyze. Okay, people could say, no, with my limited knowledge, I'm not able to understand the scheme or a product of a company, but so everybody is invested, so I have invested also. So this cannot be an excuse. Gaining knowledge on how really that business works and taking that information to another level of professional persons and also religious persons, if required, and taking the opinion before every money you invest. You can't just invest based on some advertisements or some guidance by friends and then then blame everyone. I have spoken about these activities. So this slide is, I have just said, the whole system in different breakups. You have the NBFCs, you have the cooperative credit banks, you have foreign banks, you have private banks, you have agriculture banks. Every bank, every institution have investment products with very low return and high safety to a very high returns to and low safety. I'm not here to promote any of these institutions. I'm not here to even say all these institutions are committing something wrong. No. Because as I said earlier, every institution in our country are very clear in telling the investors how their system works, including a deposit from a post bank. They are very clear what is the return we will give, but those are all interest based. So when we talk about what is the alternative, I have highlighted some of the options, but it doesn't stop us to study all these constituents in an economy. As I said, there is an insurance sector, there is a mutual fund sector. You need not invest, but please study each and every system. If at all you are planning to invest anywhere, or if you are planning to borrow or take investment from anyone, how does a normal system work? Only then you can really compare it with how a profit loss based system works. Okay, in the Indian context, these information I've already stated. Globally, what is the origin of interest-free system? Okay, we can say from 1920 in India, in Indian context, but this system is not a new system. Only the conventional interest-based system is a new and every day new concepts are added. So today in India, you have many institutions who are offering investments on profit loss sharing system. They are also taking investment, but I'm not here to promote any of these organizations. I'm not here to even say they are all Sharia compliant. This is left to the investors, the individuals to study them. As I said, take it to the next professional level, even if it costs a few percentage. take it to your spend on that, then take it to the religious scholars, know what is the Sharia opinion on that, and then decide, and then accept whatever is the risk involved in that. Okay. All these again are the institutions that are practicing interest-free system. Not 100%, but to the best possible under the Indian taxation laws. But regarding their Sharia complaints, you have to study and take the opinion of the right people. Now, last in 5 minutes, I will talk about Rehbar, which is an alternate investment platform. They are in Bangalore. They are a financial consultancy who have now taken investment and provided investment to more than 100 plus businesses with the 700 investors in their network. Again, they also have a system of Sharia compliant investment wherein they study the investment business and they forward that proposal to the investors. The investors can either invest directly in the business or through Rehbar's special purpose vehicles which they have created called RERL, etc. So you can search for Rehbar and you can contact them to get more details. So how does the system work? As I said, the investors would purchase debentures, in this case from RERL, debentures in a different working form. Best is to know from them how it works. And they route it to the business, who will in turn pay their profits to RERL, and it is given as bonus or dividends or profit under the taxation laws. They are distributed back to the investors. So these are not so important slides. This is 2018-19 information. The companies given here are all the companies where they have invested so far. You could see the team, which is a pan-India team. I'm also there. Dr. K. Mohamed, Ismail, Sait. We are all honorary directors. We are not paid for our services. Why I'm just mentioning here, this we are doing it as a service to ensure the interest-free system gets a proper shape. So there is a lot of deliberations. There are a lot of professionals involved in that. You could see the executive team down, and you could see the Sharia board. So there's a big team that works on a regular basis to give alternative solution. So you could reach them, and as I said again, before I conclude, talk to them, know how things work, study them, take it to the professionals for their opinion, take it to the scholars for their opinion, and then decide. Finally, before I close, see, we need to grow our business. Our revenue needs to grow. Only then we can save money. But it is the other way around. We need to save money to really grow. So they go in parallel. So we should start with our prayer. We have a mixed audience, so every person has their religion in practice. So prayer helps us to fall in line with the ethical system, to follow traditional practices, to get in proper shape in the lifestyle. So sticking to the religion is very important. So we start with prayer. We seek knowledge, information, the one that we are doing now, and then we transform it into the work, the hard work, the amount of work that we are doing to create revenue. The revenue generated needs to be invested properly. That is the seed we need to sow in a proper manner. So that system will give you returns which you will have. You'll be having your savings. Don't spend everything for yourself. Give by way of charity, by way of knowledge back, by way of scholarships. In fact, SYPA is a big example of scholarships and services and giving back. SYPA is a big example. And finally, end with the prayer again. So with these words, I first put myself to practice, because I've been talking about this for many years. First, for me to ensure that I'm sticking to the system, and then if it is useful for people to make best use of that. But it is all left to us to decide what we want to do, how we want to do when it comes to our earning. Thank you very much. May the Almighty reward each and everyone who are involved in this. With this, let me close this session. Jazakallah khair. So with this, I've already said what you need to do at the individual level. Yes, Brother Rafiq.
Yes, sir. Jazakallah khairun, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes is there. Can we invite any people to ask the question? One question. Can we allow one question?
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Yes, brother. Brother, please raise your hand for question answer session. Faisal, sir. Please.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Briefly, and I can also give a brief reply. Yes, brother.
Brother, just I want to know your contact details so that I can contact you for my
mail ID. I will type, which is the best thing because mobile, the connectivity and the other disturbances are there. Ismail Sait at gmail.com. Once you email, then I will come back to you, brothers, inshallah. Ismail Sait at gmail.com. Yeah. Any other questions?
I have typed that in the chat box. Is it right? Just have a check.
Yeah, I have just typed in the. How much investment is initial? If you're talking about Rehbar, they start from 50,000 onwards. 1 lakh onwards, they take investment.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Any other questions? We have 5 minutes. I think you can make use. I'll give very brief reply. Why there is no Islamic bank in India? We all have to pray for that, and we all have to work for that. Then it will come into reality. In Sri Lanka, in 2010, first Islamic bank came called Amana Bank, but they started in 2003 onwards that exercise. So as we gather our knowledge, gather our resources, gather our investments, and then present it in a proper professional manner, any government would permit. So I think we are lacking in that. Let us keep asking what we want, and the government, because we are not asking money from the government, please note. We are asking government to permit us a system wherein our money will be used for investments, and so we are only asking about a system, because the people should not, you can answer people when they say why the government is hesitant, is because there are some wrong practices happening somewhere which the government takes as precedents, but that is happening everywhere. There are people who have 4,000, 5,000 crores. We don't know where they are. We know where they are, but we are not able to do anything. Yes, next question. This is the first session I'm joining.
Ismail, I have got a question. Dr. Ismail, I would like to have a question.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Ashraf Rizvi. I'm the chairman of an organization known as Maxwell Leadership Council.
Yes,
and I'm also the president of FAME. I have been working on this Islamic finance for the last 14 years. We had the first conference in IIM Indore when I was the dean of IIM Indore, and now we are planning to have a multi-state credit society with a national imprint.
MashaAllah.
So what you said is, I mean, it's really very, very important. And my question is, now the government may not allow you to start a bank, okay? But the government allows you to operate through cooperative. And there can be a very strong national cooperative in the country. But why is that there is no such thing? There is. I know a few which are state-based. They have been tried to multi-state. But they're actually, like I know one Jan Seva from Maharashtra. He's a friend, who's Professor Rahmatullah. It's now almost 400 crores operation is there. But what, according to you, is the main reason that we are not able to develop a multi-state, a strong cooperative society with presence in every state of India?
To give a brief reply, respected brother, one is the regulations are a criteria. Even for multi-state cooperative, the name you just mentioned, Janseva, they are very strong in Tamil Nadu than other states. Though it started in Maharashtra, in Tamil Nadu we have 5 towns here having their branches, though they are all connected to the head office for all their activities. One is their regulatory issues for practicing real-time profit loss sharing system. Even a multi-state cooperative credit society has certain regulations, which you should be knowing, but there are other players. It's not that you are referring to one. There are around 10 players of similar style. There is Sahulat, there is Asra, there are new, there is Sangamam from different states. They have all started in different states under the concept, but they all practice different investment styles. Their products are not the same. But I have to mention, having mentioned about all this, their Sharia compliant part is not very highly diligent, because again, there are certain legal and taxation issues that still need to be regulated. But honest effort is being done. So we need to appreciate, though I'm a person who does both criticize as well as appreciate, we need to appreciate the investors who have invested in those multi-state cooperative credit societies. Huge amount has gone. I personally know a few who have invested a considerable amount. They have all invested to ensure that the system works. But again, to conclude, there are certain regulatory challenges that are still there. But the numbers are increasing. The numbers are increasing, and Dr. Sharik Nisar is an important person, more knowledgeable in the sector, who has a similar name. I mean, he works in an institute called Rizvi Institute of Management in Mumbai. Okay. Any other questions? Because I won't go into my brother's time. It's 8:05 already. Yeah. Audio is not. Please suggest the right investment for retired government employees. Brother, I'm not here to promote or suggest any organizations where you can invest. But there are organizations, as just brother said, there is Jan Seva, there is Rehbar. But with due respect, you please study the system, ask all your questions, and then please invest. But there are investment options available. There are no other chat questions. Can I conclude, Brother Rafiq?
Yes, sir. Please, we can conclude. Hello, sir.
You can your questions, brothers. I'll be happy to reply, inshallah.
Yes, sir. Inshallah, we will conclude this session.
Thank you,
sir. Jazakallah khairun. So now it's the time to introduce our next keynote speaker, who was on Dr. M. Ashraf Rizvi, founder, Forum for Advancement of Indian Minority Education, FAIME, who is the founder for FAIME, Chairman, Maxwell Leadership Council, former professor, IIM Indore and IIT Dhanpad. So our keynote speaker now going to give the speech about the leadership in entrepreneurship. So on behalf of you, I would like to invite our guest speaker and welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Please welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you, brothers and sisters. I'm very happy to be here.
Your video is not really clear, sir.
Video?
Yes.
But I've made it. The video is open from my side.
Yes, sir. Yes, once again. Yes, it's
Anything
open,
else?
sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, my brothers and sisters. I'm Dr. M. Ashraf Rizvi. And as Mr. Rafiq introduced, I've been a professor in Indian Institute of Management Indore and IIT Dhanbad. I took premature retirement to serve my community and establish Maxwell Leadership Council in 2018 at the age of 56. And we have established this year FAME, that is Forum for the Advancement of Indian Minority Education. And we are going to have a very strong chapter in Tamil Nadu. And I will request all of you in Tamil Nadu to be part of this, because we want to make FAME very, very important in Tamil Nadu. Well, now today the topic is leadership for entrepreneurs. I would like to speak for about 15 to 20 minutes, and 10 minutes I will keep for the question and answer. And I would like the time to start now. Anybody who would like to ask any question in the middle is actually, you can do that because it's possible. Okay, so let's first say that who is an entrepreneur? That's very important before we try to talk what kind of leadership an entrepreneur needs. Let's try to understand who is an entrepreneur. Now, well, if you look at the definitions given in the books, there would will find different definitions given to like a person who innovates something to add value to society in a general way. That an entrepreneur is one who works on an idea, mostly a business idea, that adds value to society and creates a business. So entrepreneur is anybody whose main aim is actual idea and to turn this business idea into a big business. I have taught many entrepreneurs, but I'll talk about one who is very important. In 2007, 13 years back, I in fact was invited by that entrepreneur, and he wanted me to teach his vice presidents and his senior general managers in his company. He was running a company. But then my first program was in Lona Villa, and then I said, Dr. Rizvi, I would like to join your program as well. And he joined my program. It was a leadership program in Bombay. And then I asked him that, how did you start your business? And he said, I started in 1982. I got interested because I started my career in 1982. It was very interesting. So ask him that, well, with how much money did you start? And he said, I started with 10,000 rupees. I was little stuck because I could have started any business with 10,000 rupees, probably more. I said, how much did you started the business with? And he said, 5, 6 of my friends with whom I was used to play these cards. And so they were my the first employees and partners in my company. I said, great. And how big the company is now today? And he said that at that point of time in 2007, the company was 40,000 crores. So I told the gentleman, look, my friend, I'm not going to teach you because what can I teach you? You have created 40,000 crores out of only 10,000 rupees, and I have not been able to create even 1 crore. And that point of time, I was not able to even generate 1 crore as a teacher. I was at that time a dean and a professor in IIM. And I said, so I will not teach you. He was paying me 1,50,000 a day. And he was paying me hospitality in 7-star hotel. So he said, no, Dr. Rizvi, I would like to know what do you teach in IIMs? Because I've never gone to IIM. He was a graduate. He said, I studied in an ordinary college, and so I have not gone. So I'd like to know what is there in IIM that so many people talk about it. So I said, I can teach you, but there is a condition. Can you please tell me what makes you successful? And what is the key to success? And he said that, well, I will let you know when we are having lunch together. And he did tell me. The man is Dilip Sanghvi, the founder and chairman of Sun Pharma. And he's still a friend of mine, a very good friend. I talked to him only the day before yesterday. And he has made such a big business. He has about operations in 139 countries, and he's close to 4 lakh crore in terms of assets. He is the 6th richest man in India currently, 6, 7. And he is the first generation entrepreneur. He's not the second generation like Mukesh Ambani. So what kind of leadership has he got? What was that made him so successful? Now this success story, not everybody can be Dilip Sanghvi. In fact, my organization, Maxwell Leadership Council, gives awards every year. We started the award in 2017 and we give it in Singapore. And we give one award which is called Transformational Leadership Award. So in 2019, we gave this award to Dilip Sanghvi because he deserved it. And of course, he humbly accepted that award. So what is that in Dilip Sanghvi which made him a leader for entrepreneurship? So what is that entrepreneurship that you need a leadership of a kind? Entrepreneurship is you have a brilliant idea because you see a gap, you see a problem, you see a need, and you're so enamored by that need that you think you want to solve that problem. You want to really fill that gap and you want to serve that need. The moment you have that feeling, you become an entrepreneur. You say, okay, when the man who started Amazon saw a big need, he saw a big gap, he saw a big kind of problem that people are able to only shop in their own city. They are limited to their own shops in their cities. Somebody lives in Chennai, so he can only go to Chennai shop. Somebody lives in Lucknow, only Lucknow. Delhi, say, can everybody, why can we go to everywhere in the world? So he saw a problem and he saw an opportunity. So an entrepreneur is one who turns a problem into an opportunity and a business opportunity. That's an entrepreneur. So once we have defined entrepreneur, if any one of you have got any question, I will love to have, because we must settle the definition. So I said an entrepreneur is one who has an idea only because he sees a problem. Like, you see that people are suffering because of that. So the first reason is not to become rich, is not to do business. If you really become an entrepreneur because you want to be rich, you want to be a businessman, you may be a businessman, but you're not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur must see a gap, must find a problem, must find a need. That's very important. And once he has a need, because the whole thing will come from that need, from that problem that he or she wants to solve. And then you try to solve it by turning it into a business opportunity. What you do is very simple. You want to make it profitable. And not only profitable, because profits may be high, but is the business sustainable? You want to make it sustainable. It continues for some time. And then you want to scale it. So you want to make it scalable. So Dilip started with 10,000 rupees, started from Calcutta. He lived in Calcutta in a small, his father was doing some business in pharmaceuticals. He started with a very small product that was a product for mental sickness. But then he started making it sustainable and made it so scalable that today almost 50% of his business come from United States. Now, so entrepreneurship is all about creating a kind of, uh, vision, a strategy to fill in a gap to solve the problem. So at this point, I will stop for a moment. Anybody with any question, I would like to check the chat box. So can I have your contact? No, I don't know. How do I identify a problem, and how do I identify whether they make my idea will create business? That's a very interesting question. How do I find a problem? How do entrepreneurs actually identify problems and create? First of all, you have to say, is my idea sellable? Like, say, two people went to Africa. One was an American and the other was a British. Both were representatives of shop companies, two shop companies. So they went to Uganda, and Uganda at that point, nobody actually was wearing shoes, or they were all moving on without shoes. So the American wrote to his company, to his managing director, there's no scope for shoes because nobody wears shoes here in Uganda. And look what the British salesman wrote. He said, there is a huge scope of shoes in Uganda. Nobody wears shoes. That means, he says, we will make everybody wear shoes. So when you're saying how to identify a problem, you must first see, is this problem going to remove a pain of someone? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you say, oh my God, large number of people's problem will be solved, you have got a business, because people will pay you for actually getting their problems solved. There are n number of problems today. For example, the biggest problem is what today? Fear of coronavirus. If somebody is able to solve this problem, he'll become in one day a billionaire. So I come with a medicine. I say, take this medicine, you will not get infection. Take this injection, you will not get infection. Crores of people across the globe will buy it, and you will become billionaire in one day. But you know what it does need? Well, it needs a lot of innovation and research. Not easy. So you can see obvious problems, you can have obvious solutions. The more obvious it is, the more difficult it will be a business. The less obvious it will be, the easier it will be as a business. So that's my answer. Now come on to the next part. What kind of leadership if you are an entrepreneur? as I told you, that you see a problem, you see a gap, you see a need. So definitely your solution takes to you to a different set of today. See that most of the problem, most of the people in India, they are looking for, education through online. Now, it's a problem because I feel afraid in sending my child to a school now and to have this, direct contact with others because I'm afraid and scared of coronavirus. It's a big problem now. Somebody can come with a solution that, well, we will have the best online school in the world, and I will provide you the best school because even at home, you can get the best of schooling. Many people will actually remove their children from the so-called schools and put in this school. Maybe somebody in US starts it for the whole world, and they say this is the world global school, and this is the first online public school. You can actually appear in exams, you can learn, you can have classes. Every child will actually study from the comfort of the home. You solve a problem, but then you have now a vision. So the first thing a leader must be able to do is create a vision. What kind of a vision? A vision is a change. Like I tell my family that, look, we have got a Maruti car and we live in a 2 BHK. In 3 years' time, I'm going to give you a Mercedes car and a 4 BHK flat in the midst of the city, or a big garden, a terrace cottage will be have a big garden. Everybody will get excited. Oh my God, when will you give it? And I say, well, in 2 years' time, and they will be with you because you are showing them a dream. A leader shows a dream. A leader sells a dream. A leader who is an entrepreneur actually sells things to people and says that, look, if you buy my service and product, you are going to achieve this because you're going to solve the problem of the person. You're going to solve the pain of the person. Now, so the first thing the leaders for entrepreneurship need is the ability to create a vision. Not everybody is smart in it. Creating a vision is, it must be very exciting. So when we say vision, the word vision itself solves it. V, vivid, very clear vision. I, inspiring, very inspiring. S, simple. I, this I, interactive, should be two-way. Then O, open, and N, neutral. So your vision must be vivid, inspiring, simple, interactive, open, and neutral. And once you have that vision, you have done the first job. The first quality of leadership is actually solved. Come on to the second one. No, once you have got your vision, you have to achieve your vision because you have started a company wherein you want to solve a particular problem, and you say, by 2022, I will solve the problem of 1 million people. That's your vision you have fixed. Now, how will you reach there? How will you actually reach 1 million people? How are you going to, what kind of leadership needed there? Now that's, visioning is not enough there. So many leaders fail at the point of vision. They make a vision, they start a company, they have a good company, they have a good group, they have good money, but they don't become Dilip Sangvi. Why? Because Dilip Sangvi actually saw a vision. And you know how did he saw? When I asked him, he told me that I was sitting in a shop in Calcutta and it was raining, and one person came. He was very disturbed, and it was a shop, a small medicine shop he was sitting. And the man said that he gave a kind of slip where some medicine was written, but then his friend, Dilip Sangvi's friend, told that no, I don't have this medicine because it comes from abroad. It's a very costly medicine. You can only get it in main Calcutta. And the man was very disturbed, but somehow he went away. And Dilip asked his friend, what kind of medicine it is that we don't produce? And he said that this is a medicine for mental sickness. And then Dilip very simply, innocently asked his friend that, don't we in India produce mental sickness drugs? And his friend said, no. And Dilip said, something came to my mind, and I stood up and I said, I will create a company which will first manufacture drugs for mentally sick people. He got a vision, a brilliant vision. And he started with those drugs. And today, Probably he's one of the, Sun Pharma is the 5th largest company in the world, and probably 1 or 2 in creating that mentally sick people's disease drugs. But then what did Dilip do? So what is the next kind of thing? Once you have the vision, you must be having the ability to motivate large number of people to achieve that vision. You can't alone do it. Because say Mr. Modi is our prime minister, but alone he cannot change the country. He said, "Achhe din aayenge," but he cannot change it alone. The whole country is needed. So he will say he should be able to motivate the whole of India to make India a better place, and to just to see and ensure that achhe din aa gaye. So a leader is one who creates a vision, but he must also be able to motivate large number of people to actually be part of that vision and act for that vision. That's the second thing. The last one, even if you have created a great vision, you have been able to motivate large number of people to achieve that vision, you may fail if the last one is not there. What's this last one? Now, when you manage a team, every team will have different kind of people. For example, Dilip Sangvi is running his company in, I think, 139 or 140 countries of the world. They all come from different backgrounds. Russians are different, Chinese are different, Koreans are different, Americans are different, Australians are different, but he is able to manage them. So what is this quality? It's known as aligning. If you are able to align them towards that one goal that you have got your work done. Now you are complete. So a leadership for entrepreneurs is you must have 3 qualities. You must be able to create a powerful vision, and once you have created the vision, you must be able to motivate large number of your team members to achieve that vision, and finally you must be able to align your members, your team members, to achieve that great vision that you have created. That's very, very important. And these are the 3 basic leadership qualities that are needed in entrepreneurs, whoever want to be an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur. Thank you very much. I'm now open for the questions. So I would like to take the questions loudly from people. Anybody?
Yes, brother Rafiq Ahmad sir, please ask your question.
What are the leadership course? Is there any leadership course training kind of thing available right now to attend from any of the institutions?
Yeah. We are going to conduct a leadership development program for 6 days that we will announce very recently. The cost of the program will be $100 because the program will be delivered by the best in the world. But for people belonging to minority communities, 50% of the seats will be sponsored. So you can apply for a sponsored seat. Your fee of $100 for the leadership program will be paid by, inshallah, FAME will pay that. If you are able to pay, you should pay. If not, FAME will pay your fee. So it will be there will be people from US, India, Singapore, Australia teaching in this program, and they will tell you how you can become a better leader.
Thank you, sir. We are waiting for the advertisement for that program.
That will come on 30th June. Wait for 30th June. Inshallah, you will get it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks
for your presentation also. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I don't have any question to answer now. Anybody with any question now? I think I've got a question in the chat box. English flow. How like
Yes, brother, please ask your question. iPhone.
Yeah, Mr. Charu, is it your question? The question is, how company like Amazon, Apple grow from garage to big company? How did they grow and where they get funds? Okay, funds can be got from anywhere in the world. There are a large number of people having basket of fund running away, but they will not throw their fund in dustbin. The moment they see potential in some some entrepreneur, they invest there. But India has a lot of investors in India. They are called venture capitalists. They are called evangelists. They are called angel investors. So you can talk to any one of them, and you can. We are creating. We can. We can network is venture capitalist and angel network. So we are Fame is creating that. You can check with Fame if you have any business idea. You can write to me, and you can get money to do that business. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Rafiq, is it over now? Can I leave?
Yes, sir. Anyone want to ask the question? Yusuf
I'm
Ibrahim,
there.
sir.
I'm there. Another 5 minutes. I've got another 5 minutes I can spend with you. There's no problem.
Okay. Yusuf Ibrahim, sir, please ask your doubt.
Yeah, please ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi, I'm very happy to see you.
What's your mean? What is your mean about lining member?
Landing member?
Lining member?
Aligning. Yeah. Aligning. ALIGNING. Aligning is, somebody, like you look at that there is a big hall and you're sitting there, you can only see. The rest, everybody is blind. And then there is a fire and you have asked everybody, please go out of the room. And instead of going to the main gate, they go somewhere else. Somebody goes somewhere else. So what do? You align them. You say, look, the gate is there. You align them and let them go the right way. That's aligning. So people will have their own agendas. Okay. So aligning them to the goal is what aligning is. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very happy. So, Mr. Rafiq, I would like to use, we want to talk about 2 minutes about I would like them to join Fame.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
Forum
please.
for Advancement, Forum for Advancement of Indian Minority Education is an international movement. Hello. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Is there any question? Yes.
So can I,
Possible to study online courses of IAM? Yes, possible. Mr. Riaz Rahman, is possible. Fame has all the IAM professors in it, and what courses we are providing, all are being taught by IAMs. So Fame, you join it. You can join it as an ordinary, volunteer. As a volunteer, you have to work. You don't have to pay anything to Fame. And Fame will give you 15, 16 advantages by becoming a volunteer. So become volunteer in Chennai, in any place that you live, maybe the remote area, you can become a volunteer. That is one. Second, you can join Fame as an annual member. There you have to pay 1,000 rupees per annum. And you get about 16, 17 advantages. And this money will be used to benefit your other brothers. It will be used like that. Third, you can become a life member. Life member is a little difficult because it will go through a process. So life members' money is kept in investment. We invest this money. For example, we invest in whom? Somebody wants to do business, we'll give them the money. And they will create profit from that money. That profit will be used. But the money will remain intact. That's there. You can become volunteer, you can become annual member, you can become life member, you can also become honorary member. If you are a very eminent person, an elderly person, no income, no source, well, you can request the organization to make you an honorary member. You don't have to pay anything, but you have to work. Now, what time you have to give? Only 1 hour a week. That's all. And we are working in 5 areas. First is education, basic education. Only 45% Indian Muslims go to school. And you know what is the average in India? 80%. They go to school beyond class 5, 6. In fact, 70% start, but by the time of class 6, they withdraw their children. And only 45% go beyond class 5. We want to make it 100%. Every Indian Muslim brother and sister should complete their matriculation. That's our first goal. Second, in plus 2, the average in India is 26%, but only 17% Muslims complete plus 2. We want to make it 50%. Third, 26% Indians go and do graduation in university, but only 5.3% Muslims go. We want to change it. 5%, 3% is very, very low. We want to make it at least 26%, the national average, in 10 years' time. This is our second goal, that we must increase the number of graduates in our community. Fourth, entrepreneurship. We want to help Indian Muslim brothers and sisters, also Christians, Jays, because it's minorities, by giving them idea, training, incubation, offices, network, as well as money. So suppose you say, give us this much of money and we will be able to create a business, we will give you the money, because we'll connect you to those who have got the money and they can't do anything. They are an old person. Say some teacher is retired, he's old, 65 years old man, and he has got 10 lakh rupees, he can invest in you. And you can have a sharing system. We'll connect the two of you. So fame is going to be one-point solution for all your socio-economic educational problem. Please join it. The website is faimefame.in. Go to that website, join it. All the information is given there. And you know, the people who are in fame, they are from all parts of India, all parts of the world. As far as Switzerland, you'll find a fame member. Paris, you find a fame member. Australia, you find a fame member. New Zealand, you find a fame member. Germany, you find a fame member. Kuwait, you find a fame member. You go to Qatar, you find a fame member. Anywhere in the world you go, you will find a fame member. In India, anywhere you go, you find a fame member. We are looking, we want to establish fame Tamil Nadu chapter. We are not getting really people because we are not able to connect to them. We want to make a strong Tamil Nadu chapter. Help us. We want to have 5 chapters in South India: Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, and Kerala. The last 5. Kerala we have been able to establish. We are in Karnataka we have been able to establish. Telangana also we have been established. Only in Tamil Nadu we are a little bit, you know, in a kind of formative stage. So you can help us in establishing it. You can directly talk to me. Write down I'm giving my phone number to everybody. This is my WhatsApp number. You can write me anytime. So it is 99933477274. Write to me a message and you will get a response. That's my number. Dr. Ashraf Rizvi. I'm the founder, president of FAME. So I'll definitely help you out joining FAME. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Rafiq. I'm honored. I thank everybody for being here. It was great talking to you. Let's get more opportunities. If you want any help from my side, you want somebody wrote that you want a mentorship, you will get a mentor. And we are about 1,000 mentors in across the globe, and you can get any one of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your great speech. Alhamdulillah. Brothers, now we are going to wind up the session. Before wind up the session, I would like to talk few words about the SYPA. It's a very important. We all know that SYPA is a skilled youth professionals association. We are the social entrepreneur team working for empowering all the backward people, not only for Muslim. We are working for empowering all the backward people in education, skill training, and entrepreneurship. Alhamdulillah, we guided nearly 14 lakh students through 936 career guidance program. We published 2 books for the welfare of the students. One is What Next After 10th plus 2, and another book is Higher Studies with Scholarship and Employment Opportunities. And also we converted the same book for the welfare of visually challenged in Braille format. That is India's first Braille career guidance book. So that's what we are doing in education. And also another part, Alhamdulillah, from last 3 years, we was supported to 14 students. There are 14 students studying along with us. Inshallah, this year, we are going to select 100 plus 2 students to do undergraduation with us. We are inviting the students from all the part of Tamil Nadu, irrespective of religions. We are going to take 15 students to do undergraduation with the UPSC and 15 students for undergraduation with a state government job, and BCom with a chartered accountant, CA, and BBA with entrepreneurship, BSc Viscom with media training like animation and journalism, BSc Computer Science, BCA and BSc IT with the technology training, and BSc Physics with a scientific innovator. So we are selecting 100 students, that is SYPA IAE, Institute for Industrial Education. So then we are going to support for the 50 backward students. 100% Zakat eligible students, parentless children, and 100% backward student from other community, and children of prisoners, masjid ulamas, and masjid imams, other masjid workers children. So that's what we are doing in the education. And in the skill training, alhamdulillah, we provided employment training to 15,700 plus unemployed youth and dropouts and children of prisoners and differently abled children. So alhamdulillah, this year we are going to select 8th dropout to do 9th and 10th in the NIYS with skill training like vocational courses, and plus 1 plus 2 NIYS education for 10th student with vocational training, job oriented vocational training. So that's what we are doing in the skill training. And our next sector is the entrepreneurship sector. Alhamdulillah, SYPA is interconnected more than 75,000 entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs from the past 5 years, we organized 136 business conference in Tamil Nadu. Alhamdulillah. So we are connected with all the community people, not only for the Muslim. Our service is for all the people, not only for the Muslims. Okay, of course, we are giving importance to the Muslims, because not only for the Muslims, we are giving importance for all the backward communities. So now SYPA is going to establish our service for all the states in India. So I am requesting the people, those who are in the other part of Tamil Nadu, other part of India, we are doing, SYPA is doing our part in the Tamil Nadu, Chennai. We are working for our service, working for the welfare backward people in Tamil Nadu. So we would like to invite other state people to join with us to start the SYPA in your state. So we are ready to support our models for the welfare of your people. So we are inviting the people to join with us. Our kindly note down my number. I already given our WhatsApp group detail in the chat. Please kindly join in our WhatsApp group. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. we are organizing the entrepreneurship conference for other state people. Brothers, we are very successful in Tamil Nadu. Alhamdulillah, nearly 400 to 800 people participating in Tamil Nadu. But we are working for other state people. We are inviting more people to join in our entrepreneurship conference. So I'm requesting you to invite your friends. I already given the WhatsApp link in the chat. Please note down my number 9791475700. That is my number. Nine seven nine one 475700. That is my number. So please send the message in the WhatsApp if you want to establish the SYPA in your state for the welfare of your people. So definitely we all jointly do together for the welfare of the backward community. Thank you very much. Inshallah, we will meet you on the next Sunday in the entrepreneurship program. This program will be continued up to December 2020. Thank you very much. Thank you. Jazakallah khairun. If you want to ask any question related to SYPA, if you want to ask any question related to SYPA, related to SYPA, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Mr. Rasul Faisal here.
Yes, sir.
And you have said that just now you're going to establish in other state as well, right?
Yes, brother.
Only regarding this entrepreneurs
Hello, sir.
or any other things also like educational support. Like means what you are doing right now in the Chennai, that you are going to establish same as well in other state as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are not only doing for the entrepreneurship, we
Okay.
are working for empowering the backward people in education, skill training, and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So we
Same.
are going to establish the same sector in other states.
Okay. Fine. So currently you have been working. Which state you are working currently? Like
In Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu.
Yes, current. I know that in Chennai. Now you are
Okay.
looking for some other state as well, right? So you are working for any other like Bombay or
Yes, sir.
Andhra.
Right now, actually, right now only we are inviting the proposal from the other state people. So based
Okay.
on the requirement, we are going to join with them.
Fine. Okay.
Now we are inviting the proposal from the other state people.
Other state people, those who are willing to join others, later on that you will make a like schedule, then you'll go for it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay then.
Then anyone, brother? Suray, sir, please ask your question.
Hi.
Yes, Suray, sir.
Yeah. So when was this cyber started? And I don't get your name also, please.
Yes, my name is Mohamed Rafiq.
Okay.
Mohamed Rafiq. I was working as an assistant professor in Ali Muhammad Sali Engineering College. I started my career in 2011.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a career counselor. I started career counseling in 2011 when I was 23 years old.
Oh, you are so young. Okay.
Right now I'm 32 years old.
Okay.
Actually, SYPA is started in 2015 along with my student. Now my students are the MD of SYPA.
Okay, nice.
Yes, sir.
Which college? I didn't get the name.
Ali Muhammad Sali Engineering College. Actually, I was resigned in the on the last year. Now I'm full and full concentrating in the SYPA.
Oh, okay. This college is in Chennai.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Which area Chennai? It's because I belong to Chennai.
Yes, sir. We are in the Rayapete. We are in the Rayapete.
The new college pakatla.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. New college pakatla.
Seri. Okay, thanks.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next, யாராவது question கேட்கணுமா? Any question?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Mohsina. I'm talking from Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm very interested to listen all these activities what you are going to do for minorities.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any activity to conduct here in Andhra Pradesh,
yes, ma'am.
I can extend my service to you.
Yes, ma'am. We are ready to establish our service. We are ready to give our model to other state people. But we are expecting the people, the volunteers and the team from the other states. So if you have the team, definitely we can able to join together and establish the center, SYPA center in your state.
Yeah, this. Are you giving any training for this, or we have to make ourselves?
So we will do everything. We will do everything. We will guide everything.
Okay.
You should reach the people.
So I'm very interested for this.
Yes, ma'am. Please send a message in my WhatsApp. I already given my number again. I repeat you my number.
Yeah. I have taken your number.
Okay. 9791475700.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I will contact you.
Yes, sir. Yusuf Ibrahim, sir, please. Yusuf Ibrahim. Anyone want to ask the question? Please. Yes, Yusuf Ibrahim, young entrepreneur.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
ம், இதே மாதிரி தமிழ்ல இருக்கா சார்?
ஆமா, தமிழ்ல இருக்கே. தமிழ் ஃப்ரைடே நடக்குது.
ஓ,
எவ்ரி ஃப்ரைடே
ஃப்ரைடே.
தமிழ்ல நடக்குது. ஆமா, என்னோட வாட்ஸ்அப்புக்கு மெசேஜ் பண்ணுங்க. நான் தமிழ் குரூப்புடைய லிங்க் அனுப்புறேன். அதுல ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. தமிழ் ப்ரோக்ராம் ஃப்ரைடே அட்டென்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ.
சார்,
வேற யாராவது கொஸ்டின் சார்? எனி அதர் கொஸ்டின்? Anyone want to ask the question? Faisal sir? அவங்க எடுத்து விடணும்.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Brother, when you're uploading these programs in YouTube, after finishing the program immediately, or it will take some time?
Yeah, it is ongoing in the live YouTube SYPA TV YouTube channel.
Okay.
You can watch the program now.
Because
now
I joined in the middle, so I missed the first part.
No problem. You can watch from the starting.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
SYPA TV and subscribe the SYPA TV. You can watch all the program, inshallah.
Okay, brother. Thank you. Jazakallah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Inshallah, we will meet you on the next Sunday for English program, and Friday we are going to conduct the Tamil program. So thank you very much. Kindly invite your friends. I already given our WhatsApp group number. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khairan.